Dear Vegeta fans, this video is a direct response to a recent poll that was taken on this channel when you were asked whether or not you believe Vegeta will finally get his chance to finally kill Frieza. And to my shock, and probably to the majority of you, the results of that poll were astounding, and you can still participate in this poll now, but as of the recording of this video, 64% of you guys thought that Vegeta is going to finally kill Frieza. Now, I understand that thousands of votes does not truly equate to how the entire Dragon Ball community thinks about that question, but it's enough of a sample size to know that there are a lot of Dragon Ball fans out there that really have their hopes up for this. And unfortunately, I don't want to be a negative Nancy, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but I really think that as Dragon Ball fans, you're really setting yourselves up for this. And I myself is a somewhat Vegeta fan because he's not in my top 3 favorite characters, but he's probably at least in my top 7. So I guess by definition, I'm somewhat a Vegeta fan myself, and by that, I definitely want to see Vegeta shot. I definitely think that it makes a lot of sense for Vegeta to finally get his chance to kill Frieza, guys, but when we break it down logically, as we talked a little bit about in my Ultra Ego Vegeta needs to kill Black Frieza video, all of the signs are there for Vegeta to get his chance, but the actual execution of how it's going to happen just simply does not make any logical sense. And I feel like a lot of Dragon Ball fans are going to be very upset about this when Black Frieza is eventually confronted in the future and Vegeta doesn't get his shot once again. Because, for several different reasons, it just defies how Dragon Ball has worked. Now, if you go throughout Dragon Ball history, Vegeta does have a very, very rich history of killing a lot of side characters. If you go back to the Buu arc, Vegeta killed Pui Pui. If you go back to the Namek arc, Vegeta basically killed the entire Ginyu Force, and by the entire Ginyu Force, we mean the entire Ginyu Force, because technically, when Ginyu survived and became a frog and then came back and stole Tagoma's body in Dragon Ball Super's anime adaptation, well, there, by that definition, Vegeta technically killed him, which means that he basically killed the entire Ginyu Force. So, looking at it like that, Vegeta has always been in position to wipe out henchmen or like secondary characters. Even if you go to the Tournament of Power, he wiped out Toppo, but when it came to the main guy, Jiren, he got wrecked. To put it lightly, I mean, he basically looked like Popeye with that huge lump on his eye, and it didn't go very well for Mr. Vegeta. So, when we look at it like this, guys, the question that I have for you, and in these podcast poll responses, I want to really, pick your brains in the comment section below. This is the type of video for you to really give me your answers, where I'm learning from the actual community itself. Why do you actually think, 64% of you, why do 64% of you think that Vegeta will actually kill Frieza? What makes you feel this? Because when you look at how powerful Black Frieza is, considering the fact that he completely wrecked Goku and Vegeta are always training together, unless Vegeta does something that gives him a serious breakthrough over Goku that Goku cannot accomplish, it doesn't seem like Vegeta could be so much stronger than Goku that he could kill Frieza, but Goku couldn't. If anything, what seems like is probably most likely going to be the most realistic scenario is that Goku and Vegeta are going to have to basically rely on each other to defeat Frieza, considering the fact that if Frieza is so strong, it would make sense for a fusion or some type of combinational tactic to be basically put together in order to defeat them. And then when you also factor in that we have other characters too, like, Beast Gohan and Orange Piccolo, which it's still so cringy to say the name Orange Piccolo because orange isn't a cool name, If you say blue or red, you know what I'm saying? Those are cool colors, when you want to use them. But when you say orange, orange just feels so awkward. But either way, you have Orange Piccolo and Beast Gohan, who got a lot stronger. And then who knows if Goten and Trunks might eventually get some new power-up. I mean, I doubt it because, they're pretty irrelevant characters that usually get, put aside into doing, lower class duties in Dragon Ball, fighting against some Cell Juniors on 17's Island, or, doing, minor things. But who's to say that Goten, Trunks, or Gotenks might not have some impact on this? So, When you factor all of that in, then when you also factor in the existence of the character of Broly, it just seems like there are so many strong characters that are currently allies in the Dragon Ball universe, where if Frieza is really so powerful, it doesn't seem like Vegeta would be in position to kill him by himself. But then again, I'm going to give you guys some credit. You can say that maybe the story's trying to go into this direction where Vegeta really understands and develops the ability to use destructive energy, as we saw him training with Beerus, and maybe this ultimately means that maybe somehow, some way, Vegeta's going to utilize his training with Beerus, and this will ultimately allow him to get his victory over Black Frieza. That's something that could happen, but then there's also the other alternate thing that could happen too. Maybe Black Frieza's just never really a main villain again. And I think that's something that we have to really consider, considering the fact that the show's obviously making Black Frieza out to be this main villain. Dragon Ball is often unpredictable sometimes, even though it's often very predictable at the same time. And maybe Frieza just might not be the villain that we think he is. I mean, we think, because of the way that the story is writing itself, with Vegeta looking up into the sky and seeing Black Frieza and training with Goku and doing all of that, like, it makes logical sense for us to believe that, you know, Vegeta is going to fight alongside Goku and, you know, plan to defeat Frieza. But the alternate thing is, maybe Black Frieza is just like a force in the universe that exists and does his own thing, while our characters just don't really care anymore. That would really suck, and that's one thing that I really hope doesn't happen, because let's just be honest, guys, Frieza is one character in Dragon Ball that we don't want to see become good. I mean, let's be honest, guys, like, we've seen many villains in Dragon Ball history become good. You know, like, Ten Shenhan was originally a villain. You know, Yamcha, to some degree, was originally a villain. I mean, yeah, he was. Yamcha was a villain, Vegeta was a villain, Krillin was never really a villain, but he was a rival. You know what I'm saying? Piccolo was a villain. You know, so looking at it like that, Majin Buu, I mean, we could keep going about all of these, like, evil characters that became good. The androids 17 and 18, all of these characters were bad. Even 16. I mean, I keep thinking of more examples the more I keep saying this, and with all of that said, it's just like, yeah, I get that Dragon Ball has this history of, like, turning these bad guys into good guys, but if you just look at Frieza, like, he's designed to be a villain. Like, Frieza can't be a good guy. Like, just look at him. You can't design a character like that and he can be one of the good guys of the club. No! The way he's designed in such an extreme villain-like way, it's just like, I can never see Frieza becoming a good guy compared to any other character in Dragon Ball history. I mean, Piccolo is designed like a bad guy in his own way, but, you know, we got used to it, you know what I'm saying? But man, it's just like, I just can't see Frieza just being a neutral or just a force of the universe. I think at some point there's gonna be a clash, and with so many strong characters, they're gonna have to make Frieza so strong that Vegeta just can't beat him by himself. So guys, with this podcast video, this video's for you. This video is for you to tell me why you are so confident, why the majority, almost 2/3 of you have voted, why you feel like Vegeta is going to defeat Frieza. Give me your reasons in the comment section below and respond, because I will be responding to you.